This is Art 101 with Gary Graves. Today we're covering pretty much watercolor. I'm doing a very unique Aztec type of theme, and right now we're going to be doing just some basic colors on this today. I'm not going to go over drawing. That can be done by multiple methods, from freehand to scale drawing to grid methods to projectors. I like to use projectors for a quick project or in case I'm trying to make a couple bucks. So what we got going here is we're just going to be doing some basic, because this is going to be kind of a cultural, a little bit older looking thing, painting. So remember, I don't speak that well. That's just going to be established, but I do really good painting. So I'm using crimson red, yellow ochre, burnt sienna. I'm going to be also using a type of serpentine, which is kind of a really dark brown. I'm just using it to really kind of push back some colors. I'm also using cerulean blue, and we're going to be using a little bit of white, but that's just going to be towards the end, as well as we're using burnt umber. I'm using a small palette because I just don't want to have it get too advanced too far. We're going to be going through about 5 different layers. Remember, watercolor is just very thin. Just take it easy. I mean, and also, this is art. Relax. Do whatever makes you feel creative. Eating chocolate, having a glass of wine. Whatever gets those creative juices going, that's what you need to work on and just relax. This is something fun. So pretty much we're going to start with the initial wash just to get a basic tone. And that initial wash is just going to be a very, very light base color. Number 2, we're going to be adding warm and cool shadows. So that's where the red and the blue is going to come in. Because if you look at my face, with the light's hitting my face in certain spots, you can tell there's blood there. But as well as it's still a shadow. But you can also tell with other sides of my face where there's a shadow, it looks a little bit more lighter, almost like a blue. We're not going to use any real black. Well, I'm not going to try not to use. I'm debating on the background. So what ends up happening is, from there, next layer, we're going to make the color stronger, a little bit more vibrant, and another layer is going to be sort of like the finishing final colors. And we may or may not throw another layer in, because I'm not sure this will need it, for more sharper details. The other thing is I'm going to be mixing different types of gold medias into this. So she'll be really standing out and have a nice little pop to it. Some people like to use colored pencils. They like to use acrylics. They even like to add a little oil to different paintings. For this day, we're going to try to stick to this as much as we can. I'm going to be doing some audio during the some of the processes when we're kind of fast forwarding through there, because this painting may take an hour to 3 hours. Some people may take a lot longer. I can just paint fast. That's just the thing. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start this off with initial just plain old water. Just get the canvas soaked. You want your watercolor paper to be just stapled down with some tape. Just use something like Scotch tape. Comes off, doesn't rip the paper easily. Get a nice border, and this way it stretches out the paper. And when you do watercolor, make sure the air is a little wet. We're going to do wet on wet first, and closer to the end, the lighter layers, I'm going to say, as well as just add some graphics of saying when we're going to be doing wet on to dry, as well as what other methods I can really think of at the time to help you guys out. And remember, if you have any questions, or if you want me to cover oil, airbrush, even spray paint, like a little graffiti work, just go on my website or go on youtube.com, put it underneath the comments. I'll review it, and the most popular ones we will cover. So this is going to be a different type of art class. You guys get to dictate what the next class will be. So let's have a little bit of fun. All right, for some basic tools, tutorial real quick. People say, oh, painting can't be rushed. Bull. Here's what you can do. Watercolor takes a while to dry, and I'm a busy man. You're a busy person. So, I like to use a blow dryer. I call it the cheater method, but I like it. Like, when it comes to doing drawings this scale, initial sketches, blow it up using an art projector, put it on here. Takes me less than half the amount of time to doing another full sketch just freehand. Most people don't have the time for that. I'm using this Tracer Projector Junior, so it's made for kids, but it does a pretty good job of getting the idea across. Like I said, good method. I'm trying to cheat. Look at this. There are different types of paints to look at. One of the happening is there's some people that just get the traditional little disc, and those don't really work as well as you might think. Like in there, that's just a little tray. I had my other one over there, but the little dry disc don't really work that well. They're a lot older. They don't come off that well. They're not as vibrant. You can get somewhat hard bricks like this, where they're a lot better quality, a lot finer, and the color gets out there a little bit better. So these little palettes, this is like 14 bucks. Hey, that's not a bad way to go. It's also small, and in case you lose it, well, you're kind of 14 bucks. But for most of my paints, I just went to Walmart. Like, it was close to $7.50, depends where you're at. I got a whole, just simple watercolor packets. Comes in a tube. Color's a lot more rich this way. You can get a lot higher quality products, but this is just a simple tutorial. I'm not wasting that money. Also, if you're practicing, I wouldn't go for the rich right away. Just get the cheapy stuff, have a little practice. You can always get the expensive stuff later. I do have to admit, I like the expensive stuff, but I'm cheap. The other thing, if you're going to be doing art, it doesn't matter what type of media, make sure you get something to hold your brushes in that's easy to get a hold of. I mean, this thing can wrap around a lot of surfaces. A lot of good brushes here. Some are cheapy dollar, like 10 for $1 packs, and some are $14, $15 brushes. But that's just the thing. You have to be comfortable with what you're using. The other thing is change your water out, and change it quite frequently. It's just one of those things. The other thing I wish to go over is when we're going to be done with this, you're going to see me bring out a knife. I'm scratching this because certain spots, opaque white paint will not make a good highlight. So scratching the paper will reveal the white paper underneath. That's a good way to go. So let's have a little bit more fun. I'm just going to get started real quick with this, and